What's going YouTube? What's going on with everybody? What's going on out there? What's happening? But little boy Harlem, and I'm back again with another video. So in today's video, this is an outlook for the potential coming week. I forgot what day we start the week with and end it with, but it's for the coming week. So looking at the overall structure, okay, without so like I want to let you all know that I'm having two issues today. One, it's my network. We all know that we're having load shedding in Southern Africa. Two, my family's around. It's weekend, so they decided to come spend the weekend with me. So looking at the overall structure of the NAS, we can tell that like we're still in a bear move to the downside, with price printing this lower high, which we looked for, and breaking the lower low, closing below the previous lower low. So the only thing that we're waiting for the coming week is a continuation to the downside, with price having to pull back a little and continuing to the downside. So looking at the 4H, so I can confirm everything. Now, you can tell that price broke the low, which is kind of like a support zone. Price broke the low. Now we're looking for price to pull back or exhaust in someone around those levels and give us that bear depletion or that bullish depletion and that bear momentum for continuation move to the downside. So looking at the hourly time frame before we head to another pair, price printed the lows, failed to break the lows, and had this bullish move to the upside. So with that said, the only thing that we're waiting for is for price to pull back or to exhaust and give us some sort of bear depletion and give us some sort of bullish depletion and the bear momentum for continuation to the downside. So the NAS, we're simply waiting for price to pull back in any zone, in any level which you're looking to trade, whether it's support, whether it's supply, demand, whatever that you trade, we're just simply waiting for price to exhaust, give us some sort of depletion for continuation to the downside, or we can simply look to take trades below those very same lows, below the very same lows for a continuation to the downside. So that's my anticipation on the NAS for the coming week. So looking at gold from the 4H, looking at gold from the 4H, our overall structure, we can tell that it's still in a bear move to the downside. I was just trying to show y'all what price decided to do. Price broke the major support zone, which was looking to take continuation trades to the upside from, with price printing out or creating this sort of bullish, some sort of bullish channel, some sort of bear channel. So what I'm looking at or what I'm looking for now, current price, because now price broke this major zone from the daily and the weekly time frame. We're now waiting for price to obviously have a retest. We obviously know that like simply waiting for breakout, retest for continuation to the downside, or price breaks in, retest above for continuation to the upside. But I'm positive with price continuing to the upside. But either way, we're simply looking for that continuation or that anticipation to simply take continuation trades either to the upside or to the downside. So from the hourly time frame, we can tell the like price on the current price had some sort of a range, had some sort of a range, and price broke to the upside. So with this bullish breakout, we're simply waiting for price to either give us a double top for continuation to the downside or break above, retest above for continuation to the upside. So on gold, it's a bit tricky and it's a bit not easy. But what I'm just simply waiting for is for price to break back in or give me that bullish depletion and continue moving to the downside with price. Looking at German 30. Looking at German 30. Looking at German 30, we can tell that like our overall structure is also anticipation a bear move to the downside with price printing out this something like this and having a potential retest on the zone which we had, this previous zone which we looked for price to pull back on. So now what I'm simply waiting for or what I'm looking for, because now price is reacting on this previous zone. I hope you guys can see the zone which I printed out. We can tell the like price is reacting off of the zone. The only thing The only thing I'm waiting for is for price to continue to the upside before we can exhaust, or for price to break this level, retest, and continue moving to the upside. But price once had a strong reaction, which was once and twice, third time, and pushed to the upside. Now we came back to the very same zone. We might react before starting moving to the downside, or so that was my network, my bad people about that. So like I said, we're simply waiting for price to either exhaust to the upside and continue moving to the downside because price once reacted on the zone, creating the support zone. So what I'm waiting for is for price to break, retest, continue moving to the downside, or for positive continuation to the upside before price can continue moving to the downside. So looking at the hourly time frame, because now this is a very important zone to look at. Um, the only thing I'm waiting for now is for price to react from this highs to continue moving to the downside, or for price to break the lows, retest to continue moving to the downside. So German 30, it's not as complicating as it always is, or as we always look to take it. But the only thing that I'm waiting for is for price to continue moving to the downside simply by exhausting and giving us that bullish depletion and that bull momentum and take those continuation trades to the downside. It was 30. Looking at US 30, we can also tell that like our overall structure is still in that bear momentum. You follow me? So we did have a reaction which we was looking at and price continued to the downside. Now that like price broke this intraday support zone, price broke the intraday support zone. Now the only thing waiting for is for price to exhaust off in and around some of those zones for continuation to the downside. Sorry, and I can tell that like we're having a potential wedge. We're having a falling wedge on the zone. I believe that like price do want to trap. I believe that like price do want to trap a few buyers on and around some of those zones before price can continue moving to the downside. So looking at the hourly time frame. So looking at the hourly time frame, we did have price retesting that zone and continuing to the downside, breaking our support, having this printing out this low, continuing to move into the upside to end the week. So what we're simply waiting for is for price to give us that indication that like we are exhausted and around some of those zones, or we are having some sort of a depletion to continue moving to the downside. So German 30, it's more like US 30. It's okay. So US 30 is more like German 30. It's not hard, it's not easy, but we're just simply looking for continuation trades to move to the downside with price. So USD CAD, USD CAD, USD CAD price is in a clean bullish, is in a clean uptrend. Price is in a clean uptrend on current price, focusing on current price. Price is at a push phase and an exhaustion phase with a potential correction, push, correction, breakout. Now we're simply waiting for potential retest for continuation to the upside. That's my anticipation. I'm not looking for much, I'm not looking for less. Simply waiting for price to exhaust for continuation to the upside because we're still having that dollar strength and that Canadian dollar weakness. So on the hourly time frame, having price given us some sort of something like this. We're having something like this, some sort of a potential head and shoulders. But I believe that like price will have that bear move to the downside, which is probably like a 67 pip or 66 pip move to the downside. But overall, we're looking for a strong move to the upside. So we're simply looking for price. So on USD CAD, we're simply waiting for price to exhaust to continue moving to the upside for the coming week. Looking at Tesla because Tesla was holding this channel until it broke out. Now we were simply waiting for price to have a potential retest for continuation move to the downside. So if you can check this zone which I printed out, price once price once reacted on the zone, reacted again, and broke out, broke back in. Now we're simply waiting for price to exhaust in and around some of those zones for continuation move to the downside on Tesla. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, because now the market is still moving, I can't say much, but all I can say is from the bullish time frame, what I can say is from the bullish time frame, price did have an impulsive push to the downside. Now we're in a potential correction in a range. I'm simply waiting for price to either break to the downside for continuation move to the upside or break to the upside for continuation move to the downside. But even though price does whatever that it do wanna do, all I'm just all I'm just waiting for, all I'm waiting for from the 4H is for price to either break to the upside, react on and around some of those zones, or breaking to the downside. We're simply waiting for price to react on this major support zone. From the 1H, from the 1H, price is simply price is clearly in a sideways movement. So when price is in a sideways movement, this is what we do. But I did anticipate what I'm looking at from the 4H time frame. So looking at Ethereum, price was holding this resistance for quite in a quite good move. Price was holding this resistance in a good move or in a good state, and price created something like this, and price reacted off of it. So now what I'm just waiting for on our current price, because now price is reacting on this previous low, or it's depleting on this previous low. I'm just simply waiting for price to either break the lows, continue to the upside, or break this intraday highs to continue moving to the upside. But my overall structure on Bitcoin, my overall move on Bitcoin, I'm still looking for price to move clearly to the downside. So on the hourly time frame, all I can say is those are the highs which I'm looking for price to break. Those are the potential highs. Those are the potential highs which I'm looking for price to break, or this overall trend breakout, retest to continue moving to the upside, and the overall trend will be higher highs and higher lows. So let go and Ethereum is like we're just simply waiting for price to give us an indication to continue moving with price either to the downside or to the upside. But my overall move, we're still looking for price to move clearly to the downside. Let coin because a nigga live till lit. I did call out many trades on Bitcoin this week. I called out many trades on Bitcoin. I called out at it, I think 3 or 2 trades on Bitcoin. Thank you to whoever took them, and grateful to whoever. I thank whoever took in anything which I shared, and I'm grateful to whoever learned from everything which I shared. So looking at this, Bitcoin couldn't hold the highs and push to the upside, push to the downside. Okay, so starting off like this, Bitcoin reacted on support, pushing to the upside, reacted on resistance, and pushed to the upside. Couldn't hold the highs, which is an indication of price taking the highs out on the daily time frame. I did explain it from the previous video. You can go check it out. Price pushing to the downside, correcting, break in. Now we're waiting for potential retest or a trade below our key level to continue moving to the downside. So now on our 4H, now Litecoin on the 4H, we're simply waiting for price to react above, to react below, to continue moving to the downside, or to react above to continue moving to the upside. So looking at the 1H, so on the 1H, I can say much because we now anticipated or we now indicated what we're looking for from the 4H. We're just simply waiting for price to react above or to react below to continue moving either to the downside or to the upside with that coin. Last but not least, we have an oil. I would love to start oil from the daily time frame. On the previous weekly outlook, we did indicate that we're simply waiting for continuation moves to the upside once price breaks this highs. You follow me? But unfortunately, price couldn't hold the zone and pushed impulsively to the downside. So with that said, with this momentum candle, we're just simply waiting for price because now we have the support zone we was holding and the lows. Price now couldn't close above, it chose to close below, just simply need to head to the 4H and see what we are potentially looking at. Prices having multiple weak rejections, prices having multiple weak rejections of the zone and a potential bullish flag and a potential bear flag. We all know push, correction, and below the support, you're simply looking for continuation move to the downside. That's it on oil. I can't say much and I can't look for much because price now couldn't hold. Price is not holding this zone. Price is not holding the zone before me. So with price not holding the zone, we're simply waiting for the price to simply trade below and continue moving to the downside with oil. So NAS on the looking at NAS for the coming week, we're simply waiting for price to do what? We're simply waiting for price to pull back to continue moving to the downside or to break the lows retest to continue moving to the downside. Looking at gold, I said I can't say much, but I'm just simply waiting for price to give me that bullish indication to continue moving to the upside or that bear depletion to continue moving to the downside. German 30, I did say price is holding a strong support zone, waiting for price to exhaust to continue moving to the downside, or waiting for price to break and retest the support zone to continue moving to the downside. US 30, we're simply waiting for price to also exhaust like German 30 and the NAS before we can continue moving to the downside or break the lows, break out of the lows and retest to continue moving to the downside. USD CAD, same thing, simply waiting for price to exhaust before we can continue moving to the upside or to break and retest the highs to continue moving to the upside. Bless me. But my overall structure, I'm looking for price to exhaust and continue moving to the upside. I can even do this to show you all what I'm trying to explain. So Tesla, waiting for price to give us an indication from this support from the resistance zone which we're looking for price to trade above, to trade below for, and continue moving to the downside. Bitcoin, it's a no-go for me until price breaks to the upside or to the downside. Ethereum, also waiting for price to either exhaust before we can continue moving to the downside or break and retest the lows to continue moving to the downside. Litecoin, we're either waiting for price to trade below the key level to start moving to continue moving to the downside, break above to start moving to the upside. Well, we have a potential bear flag, which is we're just simply waiting for price to give us an indication of continuation to the downside or a break of the lows and retest for a clean continuation move to the downside on oil. So this is my outlook for the week. These are the things that I'm looking for, and these are the things that I'm looking to trade. Financial disclaimer: this is not financial advice. Everything which I say or do, it's of my own opinion. Everything can go the opposite direction or can go in my favor. This is how the markets move. Without further ado, forgive me once again for my network cutting off my videos and for the sounds on or for the sounds and the noises in the background. First of all, once again, Harlem, if you were in love trading with Harlem, who the fuck is you doing with it? That's all I got on this video, people. That's all I have, and that's all I always need to show y'all. I love y'all and I care about y'all. I can see we're having more views. I'm happy and I'm grateful for the people that keep on clicking on my video. Not to say I'm just trying to make y'all subscribe or do anything, but if you feel like I'm doing something that it aligns with you or that I'm having something which is potentially something that you can take something from, please subscribe, please like, please comment on my videos, tell me what you need to see or tell me what you are looking to trade or DM me on Instagram on Uncle Halab for a potential move or so we can have a chat or we can legitimately chill on some Netflix and chill, chat and chill. That's all I got on this video, people. Peace and love. I'm out.